If you've been feeling exhausted no matter how much you sleep, craving sugar all the time, or dealing with stubborn belly fat, your cortisol rhythm might be out of sync, and carbs could be the missing piece to fixing it. In this video, I'll show you why aligning your carb intake with your body's natural cortisol rhythm can help beat burnout, balance your hormones, and restore your energy. Make sure to watch until the end because I'll be sharing how you can get my free guide with the exact steps to implement the strategy into your daily routine. I'm Lesha, a nutritionist specializing in burnout recovery for high-achieving women. I've helped women reclaim their energy, balance their hormones, and feel like themselves again, without extreme diets or restrictive plans. And today I want to introduce you to a breakthrough approach to using carbs to beat burnout. Cortisol isn't just a stress hormone, it's much more than that. Cortisol follows a natural rhythm that impacts everything from your energy levels to metabolism, and even your ability to handle stress effectively. The problem arises when your cortisol rhythm is dysregulated, meaning it's either too high or too low at the wrong times. When that happens, your body gets thrown off balance and you start feeling wired but tired at night, brain fog and exhaustion in the afternoon, cravings for sugar and caffeine all day long, and struggle with stubborn belly fat that doesn't seem to want to go away no matter what you try. If you're dealing with fatigue, constant cravings, and trouble sleeping, it's likely because your cortisol is out of sync with your body's natural rhythm. Cortisol should be at its highest in the morning when you wake up to give you energy, and then gradually decreases through the day, preparing your body for rest at night. But when this rhythm gets disrupted, your body gets stuck in survival mode and ends up overproducing cortisol during the wrong times, leaving you feeling drained, wired, and exhausted. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that when cortisol rhythms are disrupted, energy levels fluctuate, and it becomes harder to recover from stress. The study showed that chronic disruption of the natural cortisol cycle contributes to increased fatigue, higher stress levels, and difficulty maintaining a balanced metabolism. The solution to this problem is about realigning your carb intake with your natural cortisol rhythm. By doing so, you can support your body's energy levels, balance hormones, and improve stress resilience. When you eat carbs at the right times, you're essentially supporting your body's natural cortisol fluctuations. This approach isn't about restricting carbs. It's about using them strategically to support your body's natural rhythm and energy flow. This is the foundation of my 4Cs protocol, which has helped countless women reduce their cortisol, balance their hormones, and start feeling more energized and in control. When I first started battling burnout, I had no idea how much my diet was contributing to the problem. I'd wake up feeling exhausted despite sleeping for 7+ hours, and I craved sugar and caffeine to get me through the day. By the time afternoon hit, I was mentally foggy and struggling to focus. I had tried cutting out carbs completely, thinking that would help, but all it did was make my energy worse. It wasn't until I aligned my carb intake with my cortisol rhythm that I finally felt the shift. When I started eating carbs in the morning and afternoon, my energy stabilized. And by incorporating higher carbs in the evening, my sleep improved and I started waking up feeling refreshed instead of dragging myself out of bed. When you're trying to regain control of your energy, it can be tempting to cut carbs, especially with the rise of low-carb diets. However, cutting carbs too drastically can actually make your burnout worse. The problem with restricting carbs for too long is that it keeps your body in a stressed state, causing cortisol levels to stay high. Cortisol is your body's natural response to stress, but when it's elevated for long periods of time, it can contribute to increased inflammation, fatigue, and anxiety, all key symptoms of burnout. When you don't eat enough carbs, your body cannot produce enough serotonin, a neurotransmitter that helps regulate mood and stress. Without adequate carbohydrates, your body struggles to function properly, causing your metabolism to slow down and your energy levels to plummet. This is why cutting carbs can lead to feeling constantly tired, craving sugar, and struggling with belly fat that never seems to budge. A study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that very low-carb diets contribute to increased cortisol levels, anxiety, and poor sleep. The studies show that restricting carbs forces your body to stay in fight or flight mode longer, leading to cortisol imbalances that make burnout harder to recover from. The solution here isn't to cut carbs completely. It's about eating the right carbs at the right times to support your body's natural cortisol rhythm. Carbs are essential for lowering cortisol when eaten strategically, especially in the evening. By eating complex carbs, such as sweet potatoes or lentils at dinner, you help signal to your body that it's time to wind down. These carbs promote serotonin production and help you relax, which ultimately supports better sleep and balances cortisol levels. When you start using carbs strategically like this, you'll notice your energy levels stabilize, you won't feel as anxious, and you'll be able to recover from burnout much more effectively. So it's not about cutting carbs. It's about using them in harmony with your body's natural rhythm to support stress management and hormonal balance. One of the most common mistakes that I see in burnout recovery is eating carbs at random times throughout the day, which completely disrupts the body's cortisol curve. This leads to a cycle of sugar cravings, energy crashes, and poor sleep, which are common symptoms of chronic stress. You might also notice stubborn weight, especially around the belly, despite trying everything to get rid of it. The problem? Cortisol, your body's stress hormone, has a natural rhythm that dictates how your body reacts to stress, handles energy, and regulates metabolism. When cortisol is dysregulated, especially by eating carbs at the wrong times, it messes with your body's natural rhythm. That's why you experience low energy, poor sleep, and irregular cravings. You may feel wired but tired at night and crash by mid-afternoon. The secret to ending this cycle lies in aligning your carb intake with your cortisol rhythm. And that's exactly what my 4C's protocol is designed to help you do. Here's how it works. Cortisol should be naturally higher in the morning when you wake up to help you feel alert and ready for the day. But if you eat too many carbs at this time, especially refined or sugary ones, it triggers cortisol spikes that leave you feeling jittery and fatigued. In the afternoon, when cortisol naturally starts to dip, women tend to eat sugary snacks, which only makes the cortisol drop worse. This worsens the brain fog and fatigue and leads to that 3 p.m. slump that almost feels impossible to get out of. This is where the CCCC Protocol, or Carb Cycling for Cortisol Control, comes in. This is a strategy I developed to sync your carb intake with your natural cortisol cycle, ensuring that you support stable energy throughout the day, keep cortisol levels balanced, and improve sleep. The key is timing. In the morning when cortisol is high, lower carb options are preferred to avoid overwhelming your body's natural rhythm. You want to focus on protein and healthy fats to keep energy steady without the insulin spikes caused by higher carb meals. In the afternoon, you can start to increase your carb intake slightly to keep your energy stable and combat the fatigue that naturally sets in. This helps to fuel your brain and body, avoiding that dreadful crash while stabilizing cortisol levels. And finally, in the evening, when cortisol should be naturally dropping to prepare you for sleep, you can have a higher carb meal. This encourages the release of insulin, which lowers cortisol, calms your body, and prepares it for restorative sleep. Now, the key here is balance. The right carbs at the right time can make all the difference. When you follow the 4C's protocol, you're not restricting carbs. You're simply timing them to support your body's natural rhythms, which keeps you experiencing stable energy, better sleep, and less reliance on sugar and caffeine. Now tell me, which part of your daily routine do you think is most disrupting your cortisol rhythm? Is it the morning carbs, that afternoon crash, or maybe those late night cravings? Drop a comment below and share what's been happening in your body. Now I want you to imagine waking up each morning feeling refreshed and energized. No longer dragging yourself out of bed with that overwhelming fatigue. Picture yourself going through the day without that 3 p.m. slump or cravings that leave you reaching for sugary snacks and caffeine. Instead, you feel steady energy throughout the day, stable mood, and clear focus. By aligning your carb intake with your natural cortisol rhythm, you'll feel more in control of your stress response and more present in your life. Imagine no more energy crashes, no more brain fog, and no more feeling like you're in a constant battle with your body. You'll have the energy to take on your day, knowing your body is finally working with you, not against you. This isn't just about food. It's about working with your body's natural rhythm to restore your energy and balance your hormones, so you can finally feel like yourself again. If you're ready to take control of your energy and stress using the 4C's protocol, I've created a free guide just for you. Download From Exhausted to Energized, the high-achieving woman's step-by-step guide to restoring energy and balance. In this guide, I'll show you exactly how to use carbs strategically to support your natural cortisol rhythms, help you feel more energized, and finally break free from burnout. So now that you know how carbs can help you balance cortisol and recover from burnout, the next step is learning how to lower cortisol even faster with simple changes that you can make right now. That's why you need to check out my next video, Surprising Ways to Lower Cortisol Levels Fast. I'll break down some powerful yet simple techniques to lower cortisol and boost your recovery. You won't want to miss it. If that video is already available, you can click on the end screen to watch it next. If you don't see it yet, make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell so you're notified when it's released. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.